Kickstarter update number 35, in which we're going to look at 2 of the stretch goals that were unlocked during Divinity Original Sin 2's Kickstarter campaign. And the 2 stretch goals that I'm talking about are the skill schools which you guys got to vote for. So if you remember, you voted for the Polymorphing school, which was a very good choice, and you also voted for the Summoning school, which turned out was also a very good choice because the skills are awesome. So let's have a look at them. Now imagine that you're being attacked by a very big bad weresheep. Alright, weresheep like this. No, Thomas wants me to put it like that. And imagine that you have on your battlefield a oil surface. So let's make an oil surface. Alright. And then imagine that next to the oil surface you have a blood surface. Let's make a blood surface. And then imagine that you have a fire surface. Now we already lost too much material, so this is going to be my fire surface. And then imagine that the last surface that we have is a actual water surface. So what can I do? Well, as a summoner, I can summon a totem. Alright, so I'm going to summon an oil totem because I cast a summon totem skill on the oil surface. So this gets me an oil totem, and what will it do? Well, it's going to be shooting oil attacks at the big bad weresheep, and that's going to slow it down. Now, since I have blood standing there, or blood lying there, I can also summon a blood totem. See it right? I put it in there. The blood totem is going to shoot at the weresheep, and it's going to cause the weresheep to bleed. So it's going to be slowed down and it's going to be bleeding out. So that's pretty good. But there's more I can do. I can summon an incarnate. All right. I can summon an incarnate from any surface. If I summon it from oil, I'll get an oil incarnate. And if I summon it from fire, I'm going to get a fire incarnate. So let's make a fire incarnate. Alright, so my fire incarnate is going to be equipped with a fireball which it can shoot at the big bad weresheep. So I got oil going there, I got fire going there, that's going to cause a big bad boom. And then I can also cast a water incarnate. So just promise to the animator who's, what's it called again? Alpaca? Forgot the name of it. So there you go, okay. Water incarnate, which can heal me. Now that's just a defensive ability, it doesn't have an offensive ability. So what I can also do is, I can cast a infusion, a power infusion at my water incarnate. And then my water incarnate is going to be able to not only heal me, but it's also going to be able to do a rush attack at the weresheep or a whirlwind attack, because these incarnates can be evolved over rounds. Okay, now you can only have one incarnate during battle, but you can have multiple totems. So you can build up an entire wall of artillery, and then your incarnate can go forward, and then you can do all kinds of cool things. So that's summoning. There's more to it, but I also wanted to talk about polymorphing. In polymorph schools, you can do things like this. You can make yourself get horns so that you can do bull rush attacks, which cause bleeding. You can get wings, so you can fly, or you can even do tentacle attacks. You grow tentacles, and that disarms the enemy. Sounds too good to be true? Check it out, let's go and have a look at the game. Alright, so this is Lose. I gave her 3 points in the new polymorph ability and 3 points in the new summoning ability. And so the yellow skills that you see here are her polymorph skills, and the purple skills are her summoning skills. So let's see what she can do. So the first skill I'll demonstrate is spread your wings. So that gives her wings. And with those wings she can fly over surfaces, which on its own is already pretty awesome. But she also gains the flight skill, which allows her to fly to distant areas. And it only costs 1 action point, so in combat that gives her enormous mobility. Second skill I'll show you is the tentacle lash. So she grows a tentacle on her arm, and with that tentacle she can lash out at distant enemies. And the cool part is that she not only does physical damage, but she also disarms them. So with that skill you can disarm your enemy. Next one is Heart of Steel. That one gives her a steel skin, so she's going to have physical armor and be regenerating that armor. This one is bull horns, so she's going to grow horns. And with those horns she gains a bull rush attack, which is going to bleed everybody that is in her line of attack. And so the cool part is that you can combine them. So she now has horns, Heart of Steel and wings, so she's basically a steel angel with horns. And now I'm going to make her invisible. So she is a big chameleon cloak skill, so she now has horns, steel skin, wings, and is invisible. So she is pretty powerful already. and so that'll evolve further in the game as you get to the next tiers of skills, but those are not in the early access, so I'm not showing them yet. So let's have a look at the summoner then. This is the elemental totem, so I can summon a totem. A totem is going to function as artillery. And this is a wood totem which will do physical attacks. But I can also summon a totem from oil, and then I'm going to get an oil totem, and so that guy is going to do oil attacks. So the totems take on the nature of the surface from which you summon them. So for instance, if I summon it on fire, I'm going to get a fire totem, and then obviously they start combining, so fire and oil are going to cause explosions. So you can have 3 totems per turn, per summoner active at the same time. So if you have 4 summoners, that gives you the ability to get 12 totems. Let's have a look at the other summoning skills. So this is summon an incarnate. So your incarnate is going to take on the nature of the element also. So this is an oil incarnate. He's going to have a fossil strike. So his abilities that he gets are also dependent on the surface in which you summon them. So if I would have summoned him from water, he would have been a healing incarnate. So now he's a fossil strike launching incarnate, and he also gains immunity to the element from which he was summoned. If I'm going to infuse him with power infusion, he's going to gain extra skills. So let's do that. So this is power infusion. So my incarnate now has a whirlwind attack, and he also has a battering ram attack, so he can knock down his enemies. So also notice that I'm taking control of my incarnate actually, so I'm sending him all over the battlefield, or even outside of battle. I can control him and to distract my enemies, or to prepare the battlefield actually. This is Farside Infusion, so it's going to give him a ranged attack, so now he has 4 attacks, and like this you can continue to buff them up. Now speaking of buffing up, if I for instance make my fire totem over here, what I can do is I can also cast all of the regular spells on my fire totem. So this is now a fire totem with magic armor, so he's going to be much harder to destroy. Okay, so let's give myself wings here, then jump over there, and let's summon a new incarnate, because I have one skill that I want to show still. And so this incarnate has a bit of magic armor, a bit of physical armor. He also gains the fireball skill because he's now a fire incarnate. He's immune to fire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of his physical armor. Sorry, actually I should have done his magical armor. So let me give him a little bit of lightning there. Sorry about that incarnate. Oh man, we still have some. Alright, let's get rid of that. Okay. Because then, when his magical armor is down, I can turn him into a chicken. So we're going to get a burning chicken, and he's going to be dashing off. And you see that the chicken is getting damaged, but he's not turning back into normal again. So you really can do quite a lot of things while the enemy is in chicken form, and the enemy can't do anything to you. You just have to get through those armor resistances. So that gives you a quick introduction to the new abilities that we've introduced with this new update, which is now live on early access. So go check it out. Plenty of combinations, lots of fun to be had. But that's not all. Imagine that Jonas and I are cooperatively questing throughout the game world of Revelon together with our incarnates. We're both playing summoners, and suddenly we have an argument. So what we do is we click on the Make War button, right? And we start fighting each other with PvP mode! So say I'm playing the game cooperatively with Jonas, and I'm controlling Red Prince, by the way. Jonas is controlling Ifan and Sibyl. And for some reason I decide that I have to leave the party. And one of those reasons could be that NPCs that I encounter in the world ask me if I want to assist them, but they want me to be alone. So for instance, in this quest, which you get at the very beginning of the game, Gawain is going to ask me, are you with a group? And if I tell him, well, I'm with a group but I can ditch them, he's going to give me a quest. And that particular quest is going to require me to get a device, and there's only one of these devices, and that device can only be used by one person. So I'm going to tell him that I'll do it, and then I will go and tell Jonas that I would actually like to leave the party because I have business elsewhere and I don't want him to know what that business is. So when I leave the party,
Jonas doesn't see my character icons anymore. He still sees my character when I'm on the same screen, but when I am far away from him, he can't see what I'm doing. So for all practical purposes, I become invisible to him once I'm far away from him, just like any other NPC in the world. And so everything I do is going to be private to you, Jonas, as long as I switched off this particular button which says don't share your journal when you are playing together with somebody in multiplayer. So once I finished my business, I can go back to Jonas and I can tell him, Jonas, can I join the party again? And if Jonas agrees, then we are going to be back in the same party and we can continue playing. Now, since I didn't share my journal, he can't see what I have been doing. It's only when I actually share my journal that Jonas will see the things that I've been doing in the game mode. Now, Original Sin 2 is a game about giving you options, so you don't have to play it this way, but it's certainly possible, and the game will actually give you some extra gameplay if you decide to go in that direction where you actually separate yourself from the others in multiplayer. And then should worst come to worst and you decide that you don't like Jonas anymore, you can do the following thing. You right click on the character and you say make war, and from now on you will be enemies, and when you get close to each other you're going to engage in turn-based combat, and then well, whoever flees from the combat will be the loser, or the one who dies in combat will be the loser, and the other guy will be the winner. Now the same rules as in single player apply. That means if you're dead, you're dead. So if should you happen to die in combat and nobody is there to resurrect you, well, then it's tough luck. It's game over for you. So this is a mode which is really for players that want to role play their characters very deeply, and whenever they have a mission that puts them against each other, actually feel what it would be like to be put against each other, and now Original Sin 2 supports that. So that's it for today. The early access version should have been updated by now, so in it you will find two new class presets. One is the Metamorpher, the other is the Conjurer. They'll allow you to fool around with the new skills that we just added to Divinity Original Sin 2. I tried them out at PAX East. I was demonstrating them there to the press and to the audience. A lot of people had a lot of fun with them because there's really cool combinations that you can do. You'll find them out for yourselves. Thomas also made the kick-ass trailer which actually demonstrates some of these combinations, so be sure to check it out. And other than that, well, we're very hard at work trying to get the game done so that it's ready for release. We still have a bit of work, but we're getting more and more sure that it's going to be in the not so distant future. We still owe you a bunch of stretch goal updates, so expect to see things like Game Master support, modding tools, relationships, the undead. What else do I have in there? Mask of the Shapeshifter, all those things are coming towards you in the not so distant future, so stay tuned. Do keep on giving us feedback. We really look at all of it and it helps us make the game better and better. Again, even in this, well, also in this patch you will find a bunch of improvements that have been done based on feedback that we've been receiving from you and analyzing the player patterns using the big analytic tools. We do that. Anyway, so thanks for watching, and until next time, take care everybody. Bye bye. Man! See that? Okay, this is how we do it, man. This is how we do it where I grew up. Hop, hop, bonk.
Its enemies on you, basically.
So it's considered actually to be a powerful debuff, stronger actually than the buff. Exactly. So we should talk to the balancing guy.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, okay, alright, cool. What else do you see?